I'm quite unashamed of our prices. I try to be really bold about it. I, in all honesty, can't afford my own furniture, but I often wonder, is it that we're expensive or is everything else too cheap? Actually, what sort of a world do we want to live in? I mean, full transparency, our hourly rate is £140 an hour. If you get in London anyway, if you get a plumber in by the hour, or if you take your car to Quick Fit, they'll change a tire. It probably takes them an hour. They'll charge you 140 quid. There's all sorts of comparable retail prices with what we do, but it just the nature of the beast that if you want to make a dining table properly by hand, it takes a week. So therefore, the dining table is £4,000. So I get this a lot. And, in terms of the price point question, we get accused of being very expensive. Unfortunately, with the way that the world is structured, yes, it is only really affordable to the rich. If you want bespoke, I would go on to say that, of course, if you're buying something that is batch produced, then there are definite ways of getting that time down, in terms of the time that goes into making a dining table or whatever, and you'll know about that, Robin. There's a once you've done something a few times, you get a lot quicker at it. And most of what we do is bespoke, so therefore the price is always kept quite high. And even if we make in batches, it's generally batches of 6, and we're probably only doing one batch of that every year, 10 months, something like that. So yeah, I mean, again though, is it actually expensive when you think about how we apportion our income these days? I think I'm really interested in food as a subject, which ties in through land use. And, the amount that we spend on that thing which fuels us every day is now only a 20th of our income. And my nan was telling me when we were talking some while ago that, when she was first had her own household, it was a third, a third on food, a third on rent, a third on everything else. And so I feel like, when you think about buying a £4,000 dining table, obviously, that isn't by any means a democratic price point in terms of, how we perceive that today. But, if that's a thing that you're going to have for the rest of your life, which is often the case that we can make, as craftspeople, we can make this strong case about buying something which you'll never need to buy again. That actually isn't that expensive. And I do love it when you see these sort of, see Instagram people who like involved in fashion and stuff, and they actually talk about, rather than the price of the garment, it's the price per wear that they expect. And actually that's such a great way of framing it, because you think if you buy like a really good quality pair of jeans and you're going to wear them, whatever, 1,000 times, so every day for 3 years, that's a cheap pair of jeans, So, I think we need to totally reframe how we see these things. And one of the things that we've started doing in the last couple of years is using Klarna, which is a tech thing that plugs in at the checkout to split the cost. Effectively, it's a credit agreement, which I'm not 100% comfortable with, but actually it allows people to see that dining table in 10 payments, split over a longer period of time. And actually that fits the modern way of consuming things better and makes that thing feel a bit more accessible. So, and the other point is we do actually try to create batch products, which, rather than being £4,000, our cheapest dining table is 1,100 quid. That's pretty comparable with made.com, what they call made.com exit prices, where they get up towards the top end of the made.com stuff, which is where a lot of sort of, renting professionals might buy their furniture from. So, have I made a robust enough case for my expensive furniture?
Absolutely fantastic. It's something that I think every craftsperson struggles with, and I feel racked with guilt about it personally. And you made absolutely fantastic arguments there. And I would love for you to come and walk around my business for me and tell me what prices I should be charging for things and how I can justify it to myself. Because
I think we should all be absolutely open about the amount that we're charging. I really do. I think that this needs to be unionized in some way. I openly will say I charge £140 an hour plus VAT, and I'm not ashamed to say that, because that pays my staff. We've got London overheads, so they're a bit more expensive, but it leaves a small margin for us, myself and Brogan, as directors. But you know, I'm really not ashamed of that, because when you compare that with a lot of the other stuff that you might get billed for in this modern world, it's not a lot of money.